This is a special presentation from News Channel 9, WSYR Syracuse.
I'm FARAH Jadran. Thank you so much for joining me as we celebrate women, past, present, and future. Tonight we're shining a spotlight on three incredible women, their talents, and their commitment to our community, and one extraordinary place, a landmark for women's history. 2019 is just getting started and already promises to be a powerful year for women, demanding change and highlighting key issues that impact us all. But it was 2018 that proved to be a cultural turning point.
The people, united, will never be defeated.
It's been dubbed the Year of the Woman. Feminism redefined, as millions made their voices heard, fighting for change, pushing boundaries, and proving that we really can have it all.
People have to stand up. People have to listen and believe.
Founded by women of color from all over the world, the Me Too movement grew louder, harnessing power from what started as a hashtag. Survivors sharing their stories of sexual assault, abuse, and harassment. Six-time Olympic medalist Aly Raisman, just one famous face, coming forward as a survivor.
You are so sick, I can't even comprehend how angry I feel when I think of you.
Millions watched as she bravely confronted the former USA Gymnastics national team doctor who sexually abused her and hundreds of other gymnasts.
Good will win in the end.
Hundreds of women in Hollywood rallying behind those who have experienced sexual misconduct in the workplace.
Joining together in a mighty chorus that is finally saying, time's up.
In Washington, a pink wave.
They want to shake up the system, and I think that's a good thing.
With a record number of women winning seats on Capitol Hill during the midterm elections.
There's a woman like me out there. I can do that.
History also made in the military. The Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina, announcing Sarah Zorn as the first woman in its history to serve as regimental commander, the highest-ranking cadet officer. And Beyoncé, breaking barriers in music. Becoming the first black woman to headline the Coachella Music Festival, with a record 41 million people live-streaming the performance. Girl power personified, their journeys a testament to the female pioneers who paved the way for all of us. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll introduce you to a few faces of feminism right here in central New York. And as Carrie Lazarus shows us, there's a chance they might just end up alongside hundreds of other legends on the walls of an American institution.
Welcome to Seneca Falls. It was in this tiny upstate New York town that the women's rights movement was born. That was in 1848. Today, it's home to the National Women's Hall of Fame.
Victoria Jackson, you are now inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame.
This is the 50th anniversary of the Hall, honoring American women for their enduring contributions to the nation and the world.
RBG, the Notorious, and she embraces that.
Yeah, she certainly does.
There are 276 women on these walls.
Edith Wharton. I love her books.
Authors, astronauts, actresses, athletes, and of course, the suffragists. Many are world famous.
I think she's local.
Some you've never heard of.
And that's the beauty when people come to the hall and they look around and they ask themselves, why don't I know about this person? Why don't I know who invented pediatric cardiac surgery techniques? You know, that kind of question.
Oh, that's cool.
There are artifacts, the program from Billie Jean King's match with Bobby Riggs. This outfit donated by Amelia Earhart's family. The torch carried from Seneca Falls to a women's march in Texas.
There was one of two of them. The other one's at the Smithsonian.
And many items are in storage because the hall has outgrown its space. But that's about to change. The old Seneca knitting mill, 4 times the size of the current hall, will be the new Women's Hall of Fame.
I mean, this is challenging, such an old building.
Built when the women's rights movement was born, it's being turned into a world-class showplace for the history of American women.
Even our small little hall is inspiring, and this will be so much better.
It's here on the third floor that the past and the present really come together. Visitors can look over the water and see the Wesleyan Chapel, the site of the Women's Rights Convention in 1848.
Your company built skyscrapers and sports stadiums. What is it about this project in Little Seneca Falls?
There's nothing little about this project. This is a special project that will leave a community stronger and better, and leave a history and honor women that have done incredible things.
Because it's really taking shape.
The new Hall of Fame is being built in phases. Organizers are fundraising one floor at a time.
The first phase of the project is expected to be completed by September, just in time for the induction of this year's class. At the future National Women's Hall of Fame in Seneca Falls, New York, I'm Carrie Lazarus.
Now I know that anything is possible, really.
Coming up on Celebrating Women Past, Present, and Future, one-on-one with Breanna Stewart, the CNS standout, four-time national champion and WNBA star, proving she is in a league of her own. Before Breanna Stewart helped lead the UConn Huskies to 4 straight NCAA titles, she was here in the Cicero North Syracuse High School gym, wowing the crowd. Just last year, Stewie helped the Seattle Storm win the WNBA championship while picking up the MVP title too. I go one-on-one with Stewie, who may soon run out of room in her trophy case. Ordering up drills for youngsters dribbling on the same hardwood she once played on. Seattle Storm star forward Breanna Stewart bringing her first basketball camp home to North Syracuse last December. Once lighting up high school hoops for the Cicero North Syracuse North Stars, Stewie went on to win 4 straight NCAA titles with UConn, each time leading the Huskies as the Final Four's most outstanding player.
When I dreamed about things, it was kind of like when I was in high school, I dreamed about, college. And then when I was in college, I'm like, oh, I can go play in the WNBA.
The Seattle Storm select Breanna Stewart from the University of Connecticut.
The #1 draft pick in 2016, Stewie would scoop up the Associated Press Player of the Year, the Naismith Trophy, the Wade Trophy, and the John R. Wooden Award. A pair of ESPYs and a gold medal with Team USA in Rio would round out her honors in that same year.
Kind of just, I don't know, not thinking too far ahead of myself. I mean, now I know that anything is possible, really.
Stewie has proved she can conquer the court, and since she started, she's been aiming from well beyond the arc to make an even bigger mark on the world.
Especially when you kind of keep things into context. Yeah, I'm playing basketball for a living, which is amazing, but there's other things in life that are more important.
Last year, Stewie stood up and shared her truth with the world in the Players' Tribune, echoing "Me Too" with countless other survivors of sexual abuse.
I couldn't sleep. I was always up, just because that would be the time that things would happen. When I was at a family member's house and it was nighttime.
Stewie was 9 years old when her uncle started molesting her. Years went by and she didn't feel safe. Even the court fell short of bringing her complete safety. But it did give her a space to be a kid and be free of haunting thoughts. When she was 11, she broke her silence and told her parents. A police report was filed and her father said her uncle confessed to everything.
Saying that my article helped save their life or that type of thing, those are powerful statements.
Years removed from what she described as a childhood with pain, black holes, and blank spaces, Stewie admits memories flash into her mind every day.
Opening it up to the rest of the world was like an additional weight lifted off my chest.
While some may never speak their truth, Stewie wants survivors to know how much it can help and heal. Saying "Me Too" on the world stage is just part of Stewie's mission that goes beyond breaking records and winning awards.
If it's something that I believe in, I'm going to share my opinion, because our worlds are colliding now, between sports and everything else that's going on outside of that. And kind of just using my voice for the people who don't really have one.
Stewie's long list of awards and fame put her in a league of her own, but her beginning tethers her to what many can connect to.
All I gotta do is go play basketball and be myself, and everybody knows my life and what I've been through, and I can be a relatable, normal person, because it may happen to me and it may happen to a random person on the street, and that's life.
What we know about Stewie's life and legacy so far is really just the beginning. Stewie is only 24 years old. 24. Take that in for a moment. Now, she has her eye on going down as the best to ever play the game of basketball, but she plans to keep on making assists off the court, too. Her youth hoops camp already in the works to become an annual event, another place for her leadership and genuine character to shine.
It's about having an unwavering curiosity, something that unearths the truth and it changes the world.
Storytelling is in her soul, but it's her Syracuse roots that keep her grounded. Coming up on Celebrating Women, Past, Present, and Future, we flip the script as we sit down with journalist Natasha Alford. Our next knockout rep of the Salt City started her journey here on the south side of Syracuse. As a journalist, Natasha Alford is used to asking the questions, but we flipped the script on this one to tell her story.
It's the fatal police shooting you may have never even heard about. We want the country to know about gun violence. And once someone is free, how do they make the most of their second chance?
What's been great about coming home is that I'm writing a lot more about the journey of growing up in Syracuse and the journey I've been on as a journalist.
Natasha Alford's parents rooting rich culture in her storytelling soul.
I grew up in a multicultural household, right? So I understood from a very young age that I was black and the world would see me as black, but I also understood that, I had multiple cultures that I was drawing from. And I did not see women that looked like me on TV.
Proud of her Afro-Latina heritage, Natasha's passion for writing, storytelling, and speaking launched long before her Nottingham High School days, long before many might even know what career path they will take.
I won a journalism award. I did not know that. Do you remember that? No. I completely forgot. Wow. Isn't that funny?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm emotional.
You're like, hey, here's my name. Wow.
I won a journalism award and became a journalist. That is crazy.
Her confidence, hustle, and grind all won with the Salt City. Just last year, Natasha was named Emerging Journalist of the Year by the National Association of Black Journalists.
People have always asked that question of, oh, how did you make it? Or how did you know this was your dream, and how are you going to go after it? And Syracuse really raised me. Syracuse came together, from teachers to community organizations to just people who believed in me and helped me to see what was possible in a way that I couldn't see for myself. And so I think I want to tell a story of my community so that others can feel that their dreams are possible too.
Talk about that journey and how it's really shaped you as the person you are today.
The local paper actually played a huge role in my life. My junior year of high school, the paper profiled me and followed me throughout the year. And what I learned from that was the power of media to tell a story and to help people to dream and see what was possible.
What's possible? asking hard-hitting questions to some of the nation's most prominent people.
He's in a system that's working against him.
And I'm stealing that answer and using that.
Ruffled some feathers. Was there ever a point where you felt challenged or you wanted to give up?
There was a little bit something different about my approach.
You actually have the ear of the president.
How do you feel like you can maybe turn back around and tell young journalists, whether they are young women of color or not, just, you know, here I am, here's what I went through, and here's why I think you can do it too?
Oftentimes we think that it's the big battles that matter. It's actually the small battles. It is when it comes to learning your craft, it's getting the small things right every single day. And when you do those small things every single day, when you get your big moment, you'll be ready to shine.
There are fire trucks and rescue trucks everywhere.
You could say Natasha's next big story has already been written in her heart. It's in every step of her journey, every breath she takes in her hometown. Now, she just has to tell it.
I think I will always be a storyteller. I will always be a speaker. That is my first love. But most importantly, I think I'm going to be writing my own story. And so coming home to Syracuse, spending more time here, writing the story, that's really the story of a lot of young women that hasn't been told yet.
Our voices are better together than one voice solo.
Coming up on Celebrating Women Past, Present, and Future. Committed to her cause, Kayla McCune's traveled the world as a Special Olympian. And now she's hitting the books as a college student and pushing for change as a Capitol Hill lobbyist. Adding to her already impressive resume, Kayla McCune is hitting the books hard here on the OCC campus. In Washington, her power as a national advocate for differently abled people is growing even stronger. She's just been added to the President's Committee for People with Intellectual Disabilities. Being Kayla McCune means talent to no end. An advocate for millions, a Special Olympics medalist, blog writer, a national speaker, and now the host of a podcast.
Thank you for listening to Kayla's Corner. I am ready, willing, and able. I'm out.
I just love public speaking because it shows what I can do and know what I can't do.
Her ability to speak so eloquently translated into yet another powerful punch Kayla didn't even know she packed. Kayla is the first registered lobbyist with Down syndrome.
I was just talking to him and he goes, "You're lobbying me." And I didn't even realize I was to begin with. And then I entered with my local congressman, John Cacco, and went to a disability roundtable with him. So, and not knowing it was the National Down Syndrome Society was the host of it. And they offered me a job at the end of the meeting. And I find it very rewarding knowing that I'm on the Hill meeting so many people that I'm saving lives. And sometimes I don't even realize I am.
What was it like to go to Washington and represent Central New York?
When I started, I was a volunteer for the National Down Syndrome Society, and I was with my dad on Capitol Hill. And when I was sharing my life story, I got emotional and I started crying. I don't know why, and I don't know why it hit me like so hard. But now I go up and I speak to many members of Congress, and now it's all business.
To make a big difference for all the individuals.
All business, pushing for rights and law changes Kayla firmly believes are long overdue. Ending subminimum wage, which varies state to state.
People like me that are differently able or have Down syndrome are making $1 or 50 cents, and that is not fair to us. Down syndrome doesn't hold me back. It's old antiquated laws that do.
Holding Kayla back? A phrase far from anyone's lips. Vaulting forward, Kayla's also working to earn her associate's degree.
I was in high school and I never dreamt I would go to college, and now I am. I attend Onondaga Community College, and with their college setting, I see more of us that are differently able getting accepted in college, working alongside our peers, and just being able to connect with your peers and with your professor. That's where I see more of the inclusive setting.
You're all just college students.
Exactly, we're all college students. We're learning the same thing.
Learning the same things as her classmates, Kayla's just another college student on campus. Off campus, it's just the beginning. Kayla's reaching extraordinary heights, using her abilities to make a difference for generations that follow her. Whether you're still searching for your place in this world or hoping to inspire the next generation, the women we met tonight show us all that breaking through the glass ceiling and reaching the top is possible with hard work, determination, and dedication. I'm FARAH Jadran. Thank you so much for joining me for Celebrating Women, past, present, and future.